They say the eyes are useless when the mind is blind. Prince Azuka came back from the city with a heart of stone and a tongue like a razor. He called the girl who would eventually save his life too local to even sweep his floor. But little did he know, by the time the moon turned red, he would be begging that same local girl for a drop of water to save his soul. Sit down, wash your ears, and listen closely. This is a story of pride, ancient magic, and a night that Obodo village will never forget. Prince Azuka was the only son of King Igwe. He spent 10 years in the white man's land. He returned wearing suits in the heat of the sun, sweating but refusing to take them off. One morning at the village stream, he saw a baby. Now, our baby wasn't like the other girls who giggled and hid when the prince passed. She was busy scrubbing her father's herbal pots. Her skin was dusted with wood ash, and she was singing an old song, a song so old the birds stopped to listen. Azuka, who is this smelly creature making that noise? My ears are accustomed to the opera of the city, not the croaking of a bush girl. She is too local. Even the goats in this village look cleaner than her. The village went silent. Our baby stopped singing. She stood up, wiped her hands on her wrapper, and looked Azuka in the eye. Our baby, Prince, this city taught you how to speak, but it took away your ability to see. You are like a tree with gold leaves but rotten roots. When the wind blows, where will you stand? Azuka, I stand on my father's wealth, girl. Move out of my way before I have you whipped for your insolence. That very night, the king fell into a deep, unnatural sleep. His skin turned cold as ice. The court physicians were baffled. The great oracle was summoned, and his words sent chills through the palace. Oracle, the prince has insulted the spirit of the land by mocking its children. The land has taken the king's soul. By the time the red moon reaches its peak tonight, the king will be gone, unless a gift of purest earth is brought to the altar. Azuka panicked. He offered his gold watches, his silk ties, his leather shoes. But the oracle shook his head. The land does not eat gold, prince. It eats what is pure. Azuka sent his guard to find the most beautiful girls in the kingdom, thinking their beauty was pure. They came with perfumes and expensive beads, but as soon as they stepped into the palace, their perfumes turned to the smell of rotten eggs. The land rejected them. With only 2 hours left, Azuka remembered her baby's words. I look at the dirt and see life. Desperate and crying, the sophisticated prince ran to the hut of the herbalist. He found a baby sitting by a fire stirring a pot of simple beans. Azuka, Ababy, please, I will give you half the kingdom. My father is dying. The oracle says I need a gift of purest earth. Give me your finest jewels. Ababy, I have no jewels, prince. I am too local for such things, remember? I only have what the forest gives for free. She handed him a small clay bowl filled with common forest soil and a single white lily that grew in the swamp. Ababy, take this, but you must carry it barefoot. You must walk from here to the palace without your shoes. If your feet do not touch the local soil, the gift will stay dead. The villagers watched in shock as their city prince took off his expensive Italian shoes. The sharp stones cut his feet. The mud stained his expensive trousers. He bled, he tripped, and he cried. Every time he wanted to stop, the red moon glowed brighter, and he could hear his father's heartbeat fading. He finally reached the palace altar. He was covered in sweat, dirt, and blood. He looked more local than a palm wine tapper. He placed the clay bowl on the altar and fell to his knees. I am sorry. I am nothing without this land. At that moment, the white lily in the bowl began to glow. The light spread through the room, touching the king. The king took a deep breath and opened his eyes. The curse was broken. The prince didn't go back to his city clothes the next day. He went back to the stream. He found a baby, and in front of everyone, he knelt down and washed her feet, the same feet he had mocked. He didn't ask her to be his queen because of her beauty, but because she was the only one who knew the truth, that no matter how high a bird flies, it must come down to the earth to find food. From that day on, Obodo became the most prosperous kingdom, led by a prince who finally realized that being local wasn't a curse, it was a superpower. My people, never let your success make you forget where you came from. The soil you walk on today is the same soil that will cover you tomorrow.